You're listening to the ReachCast show, your weekly stop for the latest and greatest in the PlanetSide 2 universe and its community.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is June 2nd, and you are listening to episode 88 of the ReachCast show, proud members of the AGN and podcast networks. I'm your host, Torkz. With me tonight, my co-host and dear friend, who I want to snuggle at SWE Live, Deringer.
That's it. I'm not going now.
Man,
I'm out.
damn it.
You're gonna. I'm sure you can find somebody else to snuggle with, like Swisher, maybe.
And our special guest, I'm going to fly in now to snuggle, Javelin.
Yeah, I'll do the flying in, but I'm not snuggling. And good evening, folks.
Well, damn it. I'm over 2. All right. This week you're brought to you by sheer enthusiasm and also great listeners like you via the Support the Show tab on ReachCastShow.com. You buy crap from Amazon, use links in there. We get money to support the show. You don't have to pay a dime. So this week, what do we have in store for you? We're going to get to know our friend Javelin here a little bit. Spawn changes that went into live this week. Community assholes. New Recursion overlay. PAL goes on hold. And last but not least, PlanetSide 2 on PS4 at E3. Without further ado, let's get to that player interrogation.
Listen, you are going to tell us everything we want to know.
Okay.
Now you are involved in the ReachCast interrogations.
Okay. Waterboard set up. Javelin. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Well, with the waterboard, I'm not sure. I'm doing good, though.
It'll be warm water, not ice cold, I promise. Let's know a little bit about who you are, who you play with, who you are in the PlanetSide 2 community.
My name's Javelin. I played PS1 way back in 05. Played that for a couple of years, and then I had some military obligations I had to deal with, and I came back and been playing PS2 since beta. Just kind of an average player. In PlanetSide 1 and 2, I was both. I've been with GOTR pretty much the whole time. Took a break from them in the middle when I had a military obligation, but I'm back playing with them now. Kind of a minor cog in that great machine that's GOTR and whatnot, but that's what I do.
Nice. Okay. And let's say outside of PlanetSide 2, what's your biggest hobby?
Well, I'm retired now, so I have pretty much a lot of different hobbies.
Okay.
So, mostly just, computer games and whatnot, and pretty much anything I want to kind of fill my time these days.
Okay.
I'd like to be retired too, but unfortunately,
Right.
I didn't marry for money.
Oh, man. That's too bad. That's a poor choice.
Yeah, this is
Definitely.
if there's anything that you take away, listeners, marry for money.
Yeah, I mean, if a lot of our listeners, I'm sure, are young. Marry for money, not for love. It's such a better option.
Remember, wealthy widows need loving too.
Yeah, that whole business about money doesn't buy happiness. Obviously, you don't have enough money. So.
Yeah. I mean, women do it a lot. This would be sexist for men not to jump in on that pool. You just have to. You got to work on that.
Just remember, women live longer than men, so
It's true.
means in the upper age range, you can really pick off some.
Yeah, unless you really intercede on that, if you really
Right.
you can work at it. Sure, you can. There's ways, I'm sure. All right. So what other video games do you play other than PlanetSide 2?
Recently, I've rediscovered Deus Ex: Human Revolution. I played through that a long, long time ago, but there was a Steam sale for the director's cut or whatever, so I got back into that. That's been kind of cool. Regularly though, I play a little bit of DCS World, like all the different modules for that. It's kind of a sim game and whatnot, and still into Planetary Annihilation. Once in a while, I'll do some War Thunder with some friends. We do Guns of Icarus online, stuff like that.
Yeah. A lot of games. That's good.
Well, you got to fill my time, hobbies and whatnot.
I have a semi-serious question for you.
Shoot.
Having a military background, like you said,
Uh-huh.
do you enjoy games like the Battlefield franchise?
Yes and no.
I've never asked this question of anybody in the military, but it's always intrigued me to wonder if people in the military are just like, God, this is shit. When I've been in the real thing.
Some of it I like for myself personally. I can't speak for everybody, but for myself personally, I like the kind of cartoon caricatures of military life. So like Battlefield and Call of Duty, it's entertaining and whatnot. But something like, let's say, Armor 3 is not really my bag tea, because I live that life. I don't need to do that in a game. I did that, as my profession. I don't need to carry that home with me. I like being able to play a game without any repercussions and just kind of, I don't have to worry about things like micro terrain and all that kind of good stuff. Just someone's I have line of sight. I don't have to deal with that kind of shit. I can just kind of run around crazy and shoot things, not really worry about, whether I'm going to come home at the end of the day or not. So that's why I like the caricature of the action, I guess.
And probably why you gravitate towards PlanetSide 2 instead, since it's
futuristic. Ultra realistic.
Yeah, ultra realistic.
Documentary-esque, as you're saying.
Absolutely.
I mean,
History Channel should pick this up.
Really sucks when you got to sit in the warp gate and eat food.
Yeah.
Right.
Cook up those MREs.
All right. Any last comments before we kick it off to community briefing? Javelin, anything last you want to tell our listeners, like good advice, like marry for money or something like that?
Any special skills that we should know about?
Nothing that
not like a break dancer or
no. All my skill set is nothing you can use in civilized society, so none of that really applies. But
gotcha.
It works. Okay.
Other than plugging my outfit, Ghost of the Revolution. We're always looking for people, so
cool.
That's it.
I'm sure they appreciate that.
Ghost of the Revolution is a good outfit.
It is.
If you
I do enjoy it. It's not super serious, but it's serious enough to get the job done. It's relatively casual, and it's probably the most accommodating for every type of play style. Whether it's you like to do the sort of solo infantry stuff, all the way up to like large vehicle movements and whatnot, and everything in between. We've got different people and units that kind of cater to all those different things, and it's a good mix. It's a good mix.
Is your character in-game Javelin as well?
Yes.
Okay, so get ready for me to whisper you when I kill you.
Very well.
Since I do it to Robo and everybody else. Since it seems like Black Arrows always are going up against GOTR at one base or another, so.
Yeah, we run into those guys a lot. They're a good fight.
Yeah.
Community briefing time.
Attention, soldiers! Get your butts in here for this week's community briefing.
I like how nobody even questioned my ability to kill Javelin in game. I appreciate that.
We just assume that you're amazing.
I'm not.
It's okay. I'm less than average, so it works out.
Join the club.
Just adequate.
Just adequate.
Just adequate.
Right.
All right. You're the first one off. Let's talk about the spawn changes that went live. No, you're fine.
I was too busy thinking about killing people in game and how it may or may not actually happen. All right. So first up, over the weekend, there were some changes to spawns on how they work in game. First, I want to remind everybody, because there was so much people blowing up about this. It was just a temporary test. They were looking to gather data and feedback from players on the direction of these changes. Any feedback regarding it is still appreciated, so feel free to send stuff like that in. But over the weekend, across every server, they changed it so that defensive reinforcement spawn points now turn off once the defenders reach 50% of the total population in the regions. The next big one, all players could now spawn at any deployed Sunderer on their current continent. Also, squad members can no longer quick deploy to the facility nearest to their squad leader, which also meant beacons, deployed Sunderers, squad-owned galaxies, and Sunderers with open seats are still valid spawn targets. I didn't really notice the 50% reinforcement turn-off, but I will tell you that not being able to spawn where my squad leader is racing to really put a damper on everything, but I enjoyed the fact that I can spawn on any Sunderer on the map. What it made me realize more than anything is that NC don't have nearly enough Sunderers at any given time.
Yeah, Sunderer placement has been on the decline.
Well,
I don't know why that is, though, to be honest. But
you'd think you'd see a lot more of them, especially with their deploy sizes or deploy zones gone. The size of that's gone down, so you'd think you'd see a lot more of them kind of overlapping and whatnot.
I agree. You should have seen a lot more, but at any time, it just seemed that there were only 3 or 4 Sunderers to spawn at any given time, and even during alerts on Indar and stuff like that. But then I'd look at one amp station or biolab, and I'd see 7 or 8 Sunderers circling around it. But everywhere else on the map, there just weren't places to spawn. So
maybe you should up. Maybe SOE should up the bonus to spawning from your Sunder.
Well, I don't know if that's really the case, or if there are a lot of outfits that play Sunder or Hunter.
Well, it might be too that it just happened, so the players haven't adapted to the meta yet, because you hadn't really needed
That's a
to.
good point, yeah.
So this might be something that'll come over time and whatnot. Because a lot of this, in my opinion, anyway, comes from it kind of forces more people to travel. You have to or use transports, I should say. Like with Sunders and Galaxies, because you didn't really have to. I mean, if you wanted to do an initial, I want to get somewhere, then you did that. But after that, to kind of sustain a fight, it wasn't really necessary. You could just kind of, redeploy from base to base to base and not really think about, okay, well, who's got the Sunderer traveling to X, Y, or Z, or who's getting the Galaxy, blah, blah, blah. But now you're kind of forced to. So I don't know. It might take time to adjust.
Yeah, that's a good point that maybe people haven't adjusted the meta. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Well, it's no longer on live, I believe. I think they took it off already.
Oh,
Since it was just a weekend test, as far as I'm aware.
It's not a bad idea to load test, or not load test, but test everything on live.
Well, it's when you're going to get the most players. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I like it because I agree they should do more stuff like that on live, just for one random weekend in the middle of nothing. Throw that out there and get
some community feedback.
Get some feedback on both live and a PTS server to kind of validate what's going on. That's something that we never imagined that they could do. You know what I mean? We said a lot of, they put stuff on the PTS, go play on the PTS. This kind of gets around that need to force players to play on the PTS. Mm-hmm. Now they're getting everybody on live. Okay. But like I said, I was fine with being able to deploy at any Sunderer, but I did not like the not being able to spawn by my squad member.
All right. Next thing we have
a squad leader, I mean. And I think a lot of people also didn't like the fact that you could spawn on any Sunder because it allowed people to jump from base to base a lot quicker. And I think the underlying theme there is a lot of people feel that they're destroying some of the inherent getting people from point A to point B. That was always a big meta in PlanetSide 1, is that you had to shuffle people from point A to point B, and you couldn't just bam spawn right there and you're in and go. You could instant action to places, but most of the time you had to be sitting and wait for a Galaxy and stuff like that. So I can kind of see that side of the coin as well, that putting it, if these changes were to be permanent, that you're taking a little bit away from the game. And maybe it's better for new players, but I think for the veterans, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know.
Huh? Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I can see both sides. Like I said, I liked being able to spawn in any Sunderer, but I can also see that if you take away, because at points like that, you didn't even need a Galaxy. Yeah,
I enjoy like you said. I personally enjoy the convenience of being able to get from one side of the map to the other. But the other side of the coin to that is you're kind of taking away the depth, something that people are always screaming about in PlanetSide. It's there's not enough meta, there's not enough depth, and that's one of the ways that you can increase that is by forcing people to have more transports, and more Sunderers means, okay, well now other side's got to pull more tanks, and then people got to counter to that, more AV, and then if there's more Galaxies in the air, you need more aircraft to shoot those down, and then it just builds like that. But it takes away the convenience of that. So what's more important, the convenience of the player or the meta of the game? And I think that's kind of what they're searching for, is for balance.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I'm happy they tested stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
especially throw it during the weekend where you get a lot of players in, but really in the grand scheme of things, it's not killing, the game altogether. I think it may only hurt a new player who's never played before and be like, oh, and what it changes on them the next week.
New player experience for this game is amazing. I don't really think that's pertinent. Yeah. In every way. So the next thing we have is a lot of people are realizing that if you don't claim your 500 station cash for your membership, that it goes away. That was one of the changes with the latest all access membership. And a lot of people were logging on lately. If they did lose them, were saying stuff like, "What?" And, they just didn't see it, and people were upset. And that's fine, and I understand. Basically, this is just a reminder to the rest of the community: if you have a membership, you better claim your 500 station cash each month, or it will be gone.
There was a real angry thread over it too. One guy was like, "I lost my 500 station cash. What the hell?"
So like burning $5 in front of your face.
Yeah, basically.
Some of that though is kind of player self-inflicted because and I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but
no, I could go. There is another side to this.
You know where I'm going with this, but they went months and months in advance and said, "Hey, we're not going to just throw station cash on you. There's going to be some sort of active component to it being claimed." Now, at first they tried the whole, well, we'll just give you a free thing, and everybody pissed and moaned about that, so they skipped that, pushed it back 2 months, and they said, "Okay, well, we're going to give you your station cash, but you got to claim it yourself." And everybody said, "This is a good compromise," And then when everybody gave the thumbs up on that, they pushed it back another month. Because they had database issues, yada, yada, to get it out. And then it finally comes out, and now you people are throwing your heads in there like, "Oh my God, I'm losing my money." Well, you had the notice, so what's the deal here? Whose fault is it really?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't advertise it at all. I don't think the community even knew about it. It was totally out of the blue.
Yeah.
No,
Right. No notice at all, no feedback for the computer, none of that.
I would hope if you pay for a game like this,
and they're giving you free money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean,
that you know what the hell you're doing.
I mean, well, I would hope that you would at least read a little bit if they're making a major change to a membership or a subscription you're doing to something, that people would pay attention. I mean, it's
this went live in March, right?
Maybe maybe something like adding a notification, like a huge pop-up, like upgrade now instead of an upgrade now. Change that to take your station cash now, asshole. Huge letters, please claim your station cash for the love of God.
Right.
Maybe they could have a few buttons for that on every screen. Maybe one that'll pop up right in the middle of gameplay. Claim your station cash now.
And I just hear it pops up. They're like,
"I know it.
See, it's perfect, right? Okay. Well, the next thing we have is a pretty good topic. I'm looking forward to talking about it. We'll let Javelin introduce this topic.
So let's see. I guess there's a huge thread about Boursk, and
a huge thread. There's at least 7 or 8 threads about Boursk.
Well, so the gist of it is he's using a known exploit to farm guys. Now the two sides of the coin of this is. There's one side that's saying, okay, well, he's doing this to bring in awareness, and then there's the other side that's screaming, okay, well, he's just doing it to be a dick. So,
well, how long has he been at this? I mean, it's not like this is the first. There's been multiple videos on it, right? People.
Oh yeah, there's lots of videos, and it's as far as I know that this specific bug has been in since the get-go, from my knowledge, right?
Yeah, Muldoon, one of the SW devs, was talking about. I guess the person working on it is aware of it, and it's. In quotes, easy to fix, but hard to understand what other repercussions might come out of that fix if you change the behavior of the shields for the spawn room.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't know what's going on, Boursk plays with us on Matherson, and he's able to shoot through the spawn room shields and kill people.
From a distance. It's outside a certain range. Was it 200?
I think it's 301 meters exactly.
So, yeah, as long as you're outside a certain range, the splash of the shell will still go through the shield. So it's killing, I don't know. It's killing people. People are pissed off. There's plenty of videos about it. And
Stardy is really pissed off about it.
there's a point at which you know, I can see the irritation there. It's a specific base, and you're constantly being farmed there, and the guy is setting up in the same spot and just constantly farming it. I mean, is he really trying to make a point, or is he just being a douche? And
how many times do you need to do it to make a point? You know, that's my take on it.
I guess until enough heat happens with his response, which apparently he's achieved, because Reddit, you know, was a response from SOE, and SOE is pursuing it. I'm just wondering, a lot of people are calling for him to be banned, and I guess I'm just trying to figure out, is it worth banning him over this? And in my personal opinion, yeah, because it's kind of a douche thing to do, right? I mean, you're drawing attention to it. We're in a sad state of affair if you have to draw attention to that level just to get a reaction from SOE coding wise. I really hope that's not the case. I wouldn't think it is, but like, you are at a point ruining other people's fun consistently by doing this. So
I agree, and I mean, if you put yourselves in the shoes of a new player, what's going to drive you away immediately if you're getting camped within a shield that you're not supposed to be shot through? I mean, yeah.
It's bad juju all the way around.
Yeah. One other nugget that I pulled out that I thought we should talk about quickly was one of the posts. I believe it was one of the people who does the banning or whatnot at SOE specifically stated that SOE does not accept player submitted video evidence as proof to ban cheaters or exploiters, and I thought that was very interesting.
Now, not a counter to that, but another caveat to that statement, I would say, would be that yes, they may not ban someone specifically off just that proof, but I would think you'd be an idiot if you didn't take videos like that as an indicator of kind of what to look at to figure out if the person was actually exploiting, cheating, you know, whatever you want to call it. But I would think that video evidence is about as close to something a player can submit that's clean for someone to look at, right? I mean, you can put it in text, and what's that going to mean? I mean, like, okay.
Well, yeah, I think the video, you know, or video or picture or whatever, that serves as kind of a quote unquote, you know, probable cause for somebody to dig deeper into it. You know, because I remember before that, you know, way back when, might have been a year ago, that the GMs would say, yeah, send us your videos, you know, or that'd be the first thing I ask. Hey, you got a video, you got a stream I can look at, you know, to see this guy doing this thing. And, but, you know,
the chat room has a point though. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can see that they don't use this as specific evidence, but I should at least get them pointed in the right direction, like you were saying.
Well, the chat room does have a point, and it's something we should have brought up, is that it's not just the shields on which nanite
spawn rooms or whatever. It's all of it.
I mean, you can do it with a Liberator cannon through the top of a biolab. There's other places that you can exploit a very similar kind of problem, and at the moment, the community is kind of policing that by just blackballing X people. This person's a douche. This person's a douche. This person's a douche. And I mean, that's one way of doing it. You know, it's not necessarily going to stop anybody from doing it, but there's a kind of justice in that to a point, I guess. I would hope that there'd be a fix for it at some point, but hey, you know,
I have a temporary fix. If there's anybody on TR or I don't know even which, every video that I saw he was playing NC.
TR, I found one. He was doing TR with this TR Prowler. Yeah, he was doing shelling
for any listeners that are on Matherson, if he's playing NC and I'm playing on my Yes I Am That Deringer character, send me a whisper. I'll grab some C4 and I'll blow him up for you.
That name.
No, seriously. If he's glitching the shields on purpose with a tank or whatever, and I can C4 him as a friendly, I will. I have no problem with that.
I'm 99% sure Boursk doesn't listen to this, but I'll tell you what, man. You listen to this. Not that you probably give a shit about defending yourself, but you know, why don't you call in or respond about why you're doing this? I mean, if you're legitimately trying to do it to attract attention, even though it's a pretty douchey thing to do, you know, explain yourself. If not, then you know, just continue to be a community douchebag. It's fine. But
and everybody has their special talent in life, so some people don't know what it is, and maybe this guy's found his.
Yeah, like I am really good at exploiting
shields.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
what Rel breakdance, he exploits shields.
Exactly. Like the guy sits at home and he's like, what am I going to do to feel whole tonight? And the only thing I can think of is I got to get 301 meters away from this shield, and I am going to kill the shit out of some people in the spawn room before they even see it. Like, I mean, some people I'm sure get off on that. Apparently, I guess.
Mini attraction is no, I don't have a tattoo on my head. I have tattoos on my neck.
Yeah,
all around the front of your neck.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not the only one doing it, but I think he's probably the most visible. Like he's kind of, it's like gorging yourself at a buffet. Everybody else kind of gets their fill. But,
yeah, I mean,
but this guy's got it at a new level. It's like Kobayashi and hot dogs and whatnot. He's just packing it away.
Somebody easy to point out because they're doing it so much. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Just somebody at the top.
I would imagine that there are some people doing it accidentally, but I think
we did it accidentally. I was sitting in a Vanguard and we'd shot. I think I was playing with Black Arrows with you, and somebody had shot through a shield, and we killed somebody, and we knew we were aiming at a shield in an area on Endar, and we're like, oh shit, we got to stop doing that. Because
you shouldn't do that, cheater.
Well, I wonder how many people even know that that's what's happening. Because we know because we're watching the Reddit and community stuff. But who knows if a newbie's like rolling around in a tank, he's like, oh, there's people over in that area, and they start shooting in that area, and they're hitting a spawn shield, killing people. Like, oh, this is great. Stay right there.
So the bad news for you, Torkz, is that I recorded that tank run. But the good news is that we won't accept it as video proof. So
good. Yeah, I'm saved. I was wondering there for a second. I guess I'm about to be banned. Oh, that's right. They don't accept
you don't
it.
Have to worry about that.
That's good. I'm saved again. That's great. Okay.
All right. So if we've learned anything this evening, it's Boursk is a douche.
And apparently so is the rest of the community that does this. I guess. I mean, he just happens to be the example we're using tonight.
All right. Let's move on to something completely different.
Positive.
Yeah, let's talk about the recursion overlay. I use the recursion overlay. I love the recursion overlay. And just for me, they released an update. It's still in beta right now, but head on out there. It's got a new heads-up display, which is actually really cool. It's a lot more minimalistic and sits in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. They've also added the ability to make your own voice packs for the game. So if you don't like Radlock's voice, you can record your own. They record them as .ogg files. Was that OGG Vorbis?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same stuff. You can
lossless.
It's uncompressed. You can pull off and like things like Audacity or whatever. It's easy. It's easy enough to record. And Audacity's free if you really want to do it.
Yeah,
so.
I will be working on a Deringer voice pack.
Are you?
Yeah, I will be. Don't worry.
It makes yourself feel better when you hear yourself instead of someone else tell you that you're good. Even the bad stuff, you tell yourself you're good. Like you just accidentally got killed by somebody else. You'll do better next time. Is that like your death one?
I honestly was thinking of maybe talking to my wife and have her record a sexy voice pack.
Oh my!
Because tell me that wouldn't be amazing.
What if you could sell these voice packs? Since we don't have voice packs in the game, like player-made ones yet to sell, maybe we can sell like recursion packs. Like we can get a bunch of like phone sex operating women to.
Oh, that's perfect.
Did you just equate my wife to a phone sex operating woman?
No, I'm taking your idea and I'm taking to the next step. I'm not trying to equate your wife with a phone sex operator.
That's what it sounded like to me.
That's not very nice. You don't never tell that to your wife. She'll probably stab me when I see her, if I ever see her. Thank God you live in another part of the state, or country. But
next up, they also added session saving, which is actually pretty cool. So while you're running, you can export all the information from your session. And they added some new achievements. The first one, mutually assured death. That's when you and someone else kills each other at the exact same time.
Okay.
They added one for Boursk, or two for Boursk, actually, the 500 kill streak and the killing the same person 10 plus times.
Well played. Well played.
Oh.
So even Recursion loves Boursk.
Wow.
What? So, if you use the Recursion overlay, head on over and grab the new one. Again, it's still in beta right now, but they do want people to get over there and test it. I really like the new one. And when I play tomorrow, I will be using the new one.
Okay, cool.
Go Recursion.
Absolutely, Recursion does a lot of good work on the. It's just an awesome app. I would suggest it to anyone playing the game on PC. It doesn't hurt anything. It's just a fun little app.
Well, that's the background. I'm talking about mostly the overlay is on this update.
Yeah, okay.
But I would imagine you could make your own voice pack still with it, because they've got two versions of the Recursion program. The first one is an actual overlay for when you're streaming, and the other is it runs in the background while you're playing and pops up achievements on your screen. So
it's just good work overall. Good guys.
Yeah, it's an awesome program too. And once they cleared up all the memory issues that I was having with them, it's worked flawlessly. And I can't even tell when I'm running it. There's no delay on my end whatsoever.
Nice.
So yeah,
right.
Kudos to the Recursion guys who put that together.
Yeah. Next thing we have is PAL Weekly was put on hold. Vengeance D basically needs people to help him out. He can't run it by himself, and a lot of the people that started it with him have since moved on to other things, and he needs some help. There's a Reddit post up. If you guys can reach out to Vengeance D, we'll put a Reddit link also in the show notes. Sounds like from listening to the chat room, about like a bunch of people have already put in apps to help, which is good. You know, PAL is awesome for the community. People that love doing like competitive 12v12 and competitive infantry play for the game love PAL, and the guy does a great job with it. You know, he just runs a great event. So help him out if you guys can. And
I feel bad that he had to put it on hold.
Well, I mean, we all know you run events for PlanetSide. Yeah,
he's running into some of the same issues that Community Clash did, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, if you run any event for PlanetSide, you're gonna need some help. Nobody can do it by themselves. It's just too much stuff to do.
And the thing that he needs, just like Community Clash needs, is the same static people from one week to the next. Otherwise, there's just too much training, too much getting people up to speed, too much everything, and it's
just a big a big undertaking for something that's a hobby. I mean, playing the game itself is a hobby, right? And this is taking a hobby to basically the next level, but not getting paid for it. So it's like there's want for it. Help a guy out. You know, there's a lot of people that depend on PAL being there to be able to play. So check it out, help the guy out. So that's all we got on that. Javelin, you got our last community briefing thing, which is the big one for those of you looking for PlanetSide 2 on PS4. Let's get to it.
Yeah, so it looks like Twitch has put up the schedule for E3, and one of the things they have on the schedule is going to be PlanetSide 2 on PS4.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it's going to be Thursday.
12:40 p.m. Pacific.
12:40 p.m. Pacific. They're going to talk about PlanetSide 2 on PS4. So I guess they have a good running demo of it that they're taking to E3.
Yeah, that's really interesting because Smed put up a Twitter post today saying that this other online game magazine put up an article stating something similar to this, and that, hey, there's going to be an announcement about PS4 or PS2 on the PlayStation at E3, blah, blah, blah. And he said, no, that's complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah, I think the part that he was talking about was bullshit is that at the beginning of that, they prefaced it with a release date.
Oh, I see.
And the release date was something like June?
June
like
30th.
like the end of this month was supposed to be the release date on PS4, and I think that's what he was calling bullshit on. I mean, the E3 thing has been public that they're going to have it at E3 for a little bit, but I think the release date part is what he's pissed off about. And the site might even be right. Who knows? Supposedly they had an inside source that said it's the end of June, which whatever. I'll call bullshit on that. But maybe they're right. Who knows? All I know is that if any of their marketing is true, it's going to be sometime in 2014. So we have 6 months, guys. We'll see what happens.
I'm interested to see it because don't forget they've claimed that on the PS4 PlanetSide 2 is going to play like PC on Ultra. So I want to see that.
1080p, man. The other thing is, so some of the other SOE games, and now there's not exact parallel between the two, but like DCUO, like I want to say 80% plus of their player base is on console. And PS2 kind of tailors itself to console play, right? Oh, not totally, but it's an FPS. It's free to play FPS, and it's huge. I mean, it's a huge play style, and it's gonna. I can't imagine it won't do well on console. So I'm interested to see how much of a player base ends up on console for this game, and how much of the content going forward for the game is directed because of that. So
I
who
don't
knows?
know.
I wonder how much bleed over there's going to be, from guys that are playing it on PlayStation that come over and decide they want to play it on PC or vice versa. I'd imagine it's not going to be that many going from PC to PlayStation, but curious to think what it's going to be like coming from the other way around.
I might be one of the few. I think I'll be switching over to console when it comes out, at least for a while. If nothing else, to just kind of foster the community a little bit and try to help if I can. What
Right.
little bit it might be. I'll probably get a bunch of like PlayStation 12-year-olds telling me to go fuck myself, and my mother's I mean, I can only imagine the kind of bullshit I'm going to run into. But that aside, I'm do what I can to start up some sort of outfit to train new players as they come in, so the new player experience can be amazing. I don't know.
You're a better man than I am for dealing with that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It might only last a week.
Might last a day.
Might only last a day, one night. A little bit. I might be done. Who knows? But
When you're getting
Like
farmed
setting
by
yourself up for a lobotomy there.
when you're getting farmed by console Boursk.
console, literally the guy's name, console Boursk. He's like throwing around a tank day one, just farming spawn rooms. That'd be
That would be the best. That would be the best.
well played, sir. Okay.
They do also list that they're going to be doing a Hizzy broadcast also at 12:40 on Wednesday.
I'm glad that Hizzy has been accepted as a term.
Can we say that we coined Hizzy?
I want to say that we did it the first week it was talked about.
I think you guys did.
I definitely called it Hizzy the first time I saw it, and I know that many people now refer to it at Hizzy, and I've even seen people's Twitter handles. When you go to the second page on Twitter where it's got their info, a lot of people are calling it Hizzy there as well.
Yeah, I would love to take credit for it. No one's ever given us props for that. So I don't know.
But I really think that we were one of the first ones to call it Hizzy.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. So, I mean, I want to feel like it was us, but we're probably full of shit. That someone in the office was saying that like these assholes in this podcast called it first, and now they're saying that they think they're important. This is bullshit. Like,
You know what would rock if we went to SOE Live and they call us up on stage or call us out in the crowd and say they named it Hizzy.
These guys right here, like we get like rotten fruit thrown at us.
Yeah.
It's the little things in
We
life.
get GTX 870s thrown at us. What?
Oh God, that would hurt a lot. Maybe I try to catch him as they come in. Like I want to hold him, to get stabbed by like the mounting bracket and everything.
Well, they'd be in a box.
No, I'm talking about like out of the box, like just
Oh my god.
just the card itself.
Ugh.
Okay, let's get
All
to
right.
the good and the OP before this degrades anymore.
Can we do the community question for last week first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Skip that. Let's talk
All right.
about.
So last week we asked, what is your favorite implant and why? We had a mix: marker, hold breath, clear vision, safe landing, enhanced target, and rangefinder. Those were mentioned briefly by a couple of people here and there. The two reigning favorites, though, battle hardened and regeneration.
obvious reasons.
I'm not surprised by battle hardened, and I'm not surprised by regeneration. I'm surprised that I don't see as many of the Conch one or the EMP one.
Mm-hmm.
Clear vision.
Clear vision. I mean, clear
Yeah.
vision was mentioned by some people.
But not as one of the more favorite ones. I don't think people are taking into account that they can, put it on themselves and then conk an entire room and just wreck face afterwards.
I heard somebody mentioning that one and another one. What was the one that was EMP? It allows you to be uninfected. But
There's a conch one, there's an EMP one.
yeah, so I mean, like running through and EMPing an entire room and conking an entire room, like you were saying. I mean, it is a valid strategy if you want to use it. It's interesting. I've heard people talk about it, but hey, whatever.
A
I'm
lot of
grateful
people like just the basic one too that you get for free.
Mm-hmm.
I used that for a while myself. It was nice to see people's health bars again.
The some interaction Jesus does something that really prompts an idea in my mind. We were talking about the GPUs being thrown on stage. I'm picturing he's talking about GPU cannon. I'm picturing like one of those T-shirt cannons, but it fires GPUs.
Oh my god.
They're like 400 FPS in your chest.
I'll make sure I wear my glasses.
They're like a NVIDIA indented into your sternum. Okay, sorry, I had to say I saw that. It just like that was the back of my mind. I saw that my mind's eye was worth. I felt like it was worth talking about. Probably not.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So, Javelin, what implant are you using the most?
For myself personally, I like the safe landing one because when I do play light assault, I'm awful. So I frequently find myself, like when I'm jumping off trying to get from one level to the other on a tower, I frequently miss the second level, and end up, oh shit, now I'm on the base floor, and instead of myself dying, I'll go, oh okay, I can recover, and get around some cover and whatnot. So that one saves my bacon a lot.
Torkz, what about
I'd
you?
like to use clear vision because I throw conch grenades all the time because I'm a huge lasher user, but because conch grenades and lasher, they definitely go together. But the clear vision would be awesome, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I keep hoping.
Been using Battle Hardened primarily for mine.
Yeah, I've been using Battle Hardened as well.
Yeah,
it's the most.
It's hard. It's hard
one.
not to want to use Battle Hardened. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good. And granted, some of these people, like in that response to your thing, Deringer, had very specific scenarios in which they used these other ones that seemed like they worked well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Battle Hardened is just simple enough to leave on and say, hey, it's good for most of the stuff you do.
Thing. And the
A lot
other
of those are very situational.
the other good thing about Battle Hardened is it's only a rank 1. There is no rank 2, there is no rank 3, which means it uses very little energy when it's active. So last week when we talked to Mustarde, I said I have not used a implant yet, but that I would. And so this past week, I used implants during all 3 ops I did with Black Arrows. And so 2-hour ops, had them running the entire time. And with that level 1 Battle Hardened on, I ended the op with more chargers than I started with the auto charge checked off.
Nice. Nice.
So the first day I played, I had 70. I ended the night with 76 after playing for 2 hours. The second one, I started with 81, ended with 85. And last night, I started with 90 and ended with 95.
It's basically permanent. Then it's never gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just, if you're worried about using an implant because you don't have enough chargers, as long as you're playing with a decent squad and or an outfit, you should not run into an issue with a rank 1. And then later on in the game, when you have all the implants, you're going to start, deconstructing a rank 3 and a rank 2 to get the super huge 10,000 charger anyways. So you're not going to have to worry about it. So if you were like me and have not been using a rank 1 implant, you might as well, because you shouldn't run out of charger energy.
Advice from the master master esports player of us all.
I was surprised actually that I ended the night with more than I started with, because I figured.
Doesn't sound like you're doing too bad. Sounds like you're holding your own.
I seem to get tons of chargers because I've been playing a lot of engineer lately, and when I repair, I seem to just be like charger, and I'm like, what the hell? So
let's talk about this week's question for everybody.
So this week's question relates back to the spawn changes that were on live. So I wanted to know, what do people think of those spawn changes on live this past weekend, and do you have any comments or other things regarding them? I just want to hear some feedback regarding them. That's all. And I will post that later this week.
Okay. Let's do that. Good, bad, and OP.
Have another drink on me, soldier.
Okay, thanks kindly.
If you can look hard enough past all the death and all the sorrow, there are good things. You must remember that we will overcome. The good, the bad, and the overpowered.
Alrighty.
All right, I am up first this time. So my good last week is the engineer class in PlanetSide 2. Like I said before, I've been playing it a lot lately. Haven't played it in a while. I haven't really played engineer specifically since we played with Imperial Reach on TR. So that tells you how long it's been since I've really specifically played the engineer class. That's over a year.
Long time ago, yeah.
That's over a year away. And
wow, we've been at this a long time, haven't we? It makes me feel old in the community now, just like an old man, just crotchety and angry.
And I also picked up the Gauss Compact S with it.
The Gauss.
And that gun is just beast mode.
It's something.
It's good. It gets headshots at long range constantly. And you really notice it when you run the recursion tracker. It's like, headshot.
It's a very satisfying sound.
Yeah.
And, I picked up the obligatory underbarrel grenade launcher attachment. And, just wreck face with that thing.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the engineer class.
Obligatory noob cannon. That damn thing.
Obligatory noob cannon.
I hate that thing. So
I have more kills with the bullets than the grenades. But it's
that's
always
good. That's a start.
It's always nice when you launch a grenade up a stair and you see 4 or 5 people die from it.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah. I could see that.
All right, my bad for the week. I'm going to say WildStar.
Now, I don't understand. Why is that your bad?
It's my bad because I don't have time to play 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And WildStar really, and I was talking to Javelin during pre-show about it, it's scratching that WoW itch that I've been missing. And the other reason why it's my bad is, as I told you earlier today, I can't figure out what character I want to play.
It is a little bit different though. I would dare say that WildStar is generally just better than WoW in pretty much every aspect.
I'm not going to go that far
because it's basically taken what WoW and Guild Wars 2 and Tor.
It's too early. People said the same thing about Star Wars: The Old Republic. So
yeah, I mean, let me rephrase that comment then. I think the combat system and a lot of the polish that WoW has been now taken and reproduced in WildStar. The combat system is better, in my opinion, than WoW.
Well, the combat system
it's very MOBA-esque.
The combat system is Neverwinter's combat system, and I got bored with Neverwinter fast. And that's my only fear about WildStar.
I mean, the telegraphing's interesting. We did. I haven't got high enough to do dungeons yet. I did 15, so I was doing an adventure the other night, and I can say that the adventure was legitimately difficult for the level, and it was good that I actually had to try, and I wasn't just like drunk and hitting buttons and circles and things were dying. Like it's nice, but I don't know. Like you said, maybe it's too early. It's a decent game, but it's not like night and day difference from every other MMORPG out there. So.
And nothing ever will be.
Well, I don't want to say that. You might see new changes in RPGs in the future, some huge change. I mean, this is still very much in the same vein as a lot of the ones we've seen before. It's just it's cherry picked some really good aspects out of a lot of the other ones and put them all into one product. And I think they've done a very good job at it. It's got a lot of good polish too. It's not like it's buggy as shit or anything, but yeah we'll see.
I'm on my 4th character. I rolled a new one today after I got home from work. So,
I'm sticking with the warrior for now. It's fun. Or it's called whatever it's called. I guess a warrior.
Yeah, it is the warrior.
Okay. It's fun.
I just can't choose a class. That's really what it's coming down to. I've played the Stalker, which I liked. I've played the Spell Slinger, which I sort of liked. I played the Engineer, which was okay. And the
medic is supposed to be fun.
I just played a medic today, and I'm kind of interested in the medic. I may have to. I'm going to play that one a little more.
Yeah, I heard it's a lot of fun healing with the medic. It actually feels engaging. That's what I was told. I've never played it, but
I like the Stalker, but I chose the path of the Explorer, and I don't really like the Explorer path. Yeah. I don't want to go too. I don't want to go too far on WildStar, but did you take apparently there's a gamer test that you can take, which will tell you what path is best for your gamer personality.
Oh, really?
It was on IGN. I'll have to find that, and I'll send that over to you.
Where you discover your level of Care Bear.
Yeah, but to discover just who you are in deep. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, and keep in mind, guys, we'll probably say that this week, and then next week we'll talk about how much we hate WildStar, and probably quit it already and shut down our subs. Who knows?
Yeah, you probably will. It's the hold on, what's the quiz here? Load faster. It's called the Bartle test.
The Bartle test. Okay.
BARTLE. It's a 30-question quiz that reads into a player's preferences for online gaming. So you take that test, you answer the 30 questions, and it's all either choice A or choice B. And at the end, it spits out a type that you are, whether you're a socializer, a killer, an explorer, or an achiever. And each of those 4 goes right to a path in WildStar. So I took the test earlier today, and it told me that I'm an achiever and said that I should play scientist.
Oh man. Okay.
So I'm going to give I played scientist a little bit. I'm going to give that one a little bit more of a try and really push through it a little more. The only one I haven't tried is soldier. I played the other ones.
Yeah, I would I would dare say anybody who's played any other MMORPGs and hasn't played one for a while or really, really enjoys that genre, I would check out WildStar. It's well worth at least trying.
To answer Louis in the chat channel, do you get a free shotgun?
Absolutely.
The engineer gets a gun that's basically a shoot.
Yeah, a big shotgun. Yeah, it's kind of fun watching somebody use that. I'm like, it's the sound effects that come with it are very like satisfying. Like, like you're just like this in the background constantly while you're trying to swing a sword. It's kind of throws you off, but it's interesting.
All right, I've talked enough about WildStar. Why don't we
so now
move
we're
on to you? So
the WildCast.
WildStar's both a kind of a good and a bad for me.
Okay.
So
next week, officially starting WildCast. So
no, we're not.
My good for the week is I enjoyed spent some time with Black Arrows this week, and I enjoy them as an outfit. I've been bounced around playing different outfits, but they have a good sense of humor and they're enjoyable. But they take things seriously to a point when they're doing their ops, and they're a fun group of people to play with. I
don't like how you're muscling in on my outfit.
Yeah, I mean, I shit you not. Like this week, I caught this. Like I log in, like I was talking to a group of guys in Black Arrows, and I was playing with them. Danger logs in and says, "What the fuck is this?" And it got very uncomfortable.
It's like I walked in on you banging my wife.
Yeah, that bad, huh? Okay.
Whoa.
Black Arrows is literally Derringer's wife at this point, and Derringer's wife apparently is a phone sex operator at the same time, so it might get very uncomfortable at SOE Live. Apparently. All right. My other good is I picked up a steel case reflex chair. And I'm enjoying it a lot. It's way better than the piece of shit I got from Office Depot. It's nothing much more to say about that. And then one last thing, and it's not really even that much of a good. It's all right good. Is I picked up a couple pairs of Thorlo socks. It's like
I've never heard of these. So
they're socks that are made of like a composite of like on the heel and the toes you have like regular cotton, right? And the top and everything else are kind of like not spandex, but like a breathable material. So your feet don't really sweat in them, and they're uber comfortable. And I bought them because I started doing a lot of rowing at the gym. And during the rowing, I was reading some rowing forums, and they said, "Hey, pick up these socks. They're great for rowing without shoes on." And I started doing that, and I'll tell you what, man, they're amazing. I enjoy the crap out of them.
Robo's got your back. He says they're the best.
They're not cheap. That's the downside.
I was like, holy shit, these things are $15 a pop.
Yeah, they're not. I went to, where did I go? It was a sports, someplace, and you could buy one, get one free deal. I was like, screw it. It's kind of, that was the compromise in my mind. If I buy one, get another one. But yeah, I mean, they're very comfortable socks, especially if you run or do anything athletic in them. They're good. And my bad is, I don't know. I really don't have a bad this week. It was generally a good week for me. I'm busy and stuff, and I like being busy work. But I don't know. I mean, I'll keep looking for a bad, I guess. I'll go through the show. Javelin, you're up. It's all you.
Good for the week. Like I said earlier in our show, rediscovered Deus Ex: Human Revolution. That's been a great experience. It's a really good game.
I've never played any of them.
The second one sucked. The first one, when it first came out, was fantastic because it was a game that kind of allowed you to, kind of pick your own way to accomplish a task and whatnot. The second one kind of the focus got narrowed down because they put it on a console, but the third one is kind of it feels very much like the very first game where it was just kind of a wide open environment and you were free to tackle objectives in your own way, whether you wanted to do that, stealth or all out, assaults of things or kind of combination thing. It's a really good experience. If you're looking for kind of a first person RPG with shooting, then you might dig this.
Nice. Yeah, I totally agree. I love Deus Ex. Or did the original. I didn't really mess with it much after the first one, but
I tried going back to the first one, and that one really shows its age. It's kind of like you have the rose-colored glasses on. I mean, it was a good experience, yeah. But
it's like vanilla WoW. It's so much fun, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
It's like PlanetSide 1, rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. Bad for the week is the Arena Commander got delayed. I was looking forward to that last week, but it still hasn't come out yet. So maybe this week we'll see what happens with that.
Did the dogfighting module for Star Citizen come out yet?
That's what I'm talking about. That is the Arena Commander.
That is okay.
That is that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember if that's what they called it or not, and I remember that term being thrown around and it prompted Star Citizen in the back of my mind. So
yeah,
it's still delayed, huh?
It's still delayed. They put out a thing today that says they're going to do an overnight test, and maybe in the morning there'll be a thumbs up. So we'll see.
Man, I'm
They're supposed to be. Yeah, there's supposed to be a meeting at the crack of shit in the morning.
Crack of shit.
Well,
I think it's first time I've ever heard that term, but it's good.
But really ass early. They're supposed to have a meeting to say whether it's a go no go thing. So we'll see. But
it's kind of like 2 a.m. and somebody's just snorting coke, and they're like, "Oh, let's just launch this bitch. This is
let's
great.
Get it going." Yeah. But yeah, that's my only bad for the week. So, grand scheme of things, I'm doing all right.
Okay. Cool.
Move on to mailbag?
Yeah, let's go on to that mailbag.
Oh, it's a perfect morning. Great timing, the mailman's just coming.
Morning. Here's the mail. Big bag. See you later.
Must be in a hurry to get away. Very strange. What's the speaking sound? Going to take a look here in this bag of mail. Oh no.
Now you just open the ReachCast mailbag.
Always like that bumper.
Yeah, I like. When it's funny when we were developing that bumper, I told our sound guy, I'm like, do something like Real American Heroes, the old the beer one from Budweiser, and that was literally his first try at it. I'm like, okay. this will do. This will do. I was like, that's perfect. So we got it's not really an email as much as it was just a post on the website, but from Sonny, the guy that's running the Araxis Literary Awards challenge, or not challenge, but stuff. And said last week, great show as usual. Thanks for the dog tag offer. And by the way, guys, I guess anybody who wins that, I'm more than willing to send out a shitload of dog tags to whoever wins that. So, also a great idea about reading winning entries on the show. Sounds awesome. I'll let the authors know about the idea and see what they say. The caveat to that, something to think about. Some of the entries are over 4,000 words long, which will take about 25 minutes to read out. And that would be interesting. You definitely don't want to hear my voice for 25 minutes when I'm stuttering and like we're stopping every 5 seconds to start over again. I am no Audible reader by any means. So maybe excerpts from the winning entries movie, like pieces of them, would be a better idea. That's not a bad idea. He said we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. AKA our quick PS, voting on the Lit Awards have been extended till the 5th of June at midnight PST.
This Friday, right?
Yes, this Friday.
This Thursday.
The 5th would be
Thursday.
you're right. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah.
Everybody should check out Robo's entry. His is pretty cool.
I haven't read any of them. I really need to get over there and do that.
Oh, what a bum.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do know how to read too, so maybe this would be right up my alley.
Yeah. This might be in your skill set.
That's all we got for the show this week, huh?
Yeah, let's knock out some. Actually,
I got the contact info.
I'll say before we do, why don't we give Javelin a chance to? You have anything last minute, Javelin? You want to pimp?
Yeah, let me just plug my outfit again. GOTR, Ghosts of the Revolution. We're on Matherson. We're a VS outfit, and like I said before, we're probably the most accommodating of any organization you can find. We don't just play PlanetSide. We play a myriad of other games, including WildStar. We got a pretty big contingent that's starting up in that.
What's that, really?
Yes.
What server would that be?
You know what? I don't know off the top of my head, but it's on our website at.
It's on your website.
Yes.
All right.
GOTR.us. But yeah, we're always looking for people for PlanetSide, for any number of games. We've got a fairly large gaming community that play a very diverse amount of stuff. So if you want a pretty easygoing community to get into, that'd be the place to do it. So, check us out if you're interested.
You build yourself as a low key member, but Robo knows who you are.
Well, Once upon a time when I first got into GOTR, if I remember correctly, he was one of the guys that got recruited after me. So kind of come full circle on that. So he's been around for a long time.
I'm picturing Robo at his house. He's like,
I know it.
I know this guy. I know him.
Oh, we should have pulled the elf.
The which one?
The thing from Elf. It's Santa. I know him.
I know him.
That could be our Robo.
No.
All right. Well, let's close this out with our contact info. As always, our website is reachcastshow.com. You can email us at reachcastshow@gmail.com. Call us like no one did this week at 415-787-3224. As always, Mondays, we're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/reachcast. Our show Twitter is at ReachCastShow. You can reach me on Twitter at The Deringer. And Adam, how can they get you?
You can get me at Abuser Cleavage on Twitter. And you can also get me at, PS2CommonClash.com. I don't know. You can get me a lot of places. I'm somewhere, everywhere. Just call me, 415-787-3224. That's my personal sex phone line.
Torkz is lonely.
Yeah, I get really lonely. Obviously, I want to cuddle everybody I encounter.
Very lonely. As always, want to thank
issues.
As always, want to thank the rest of the crew: Steve, Cliff, John, Jenny Buhama. That's it for this week's show. Thank you again, Javelin, for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
One last thing. We still have an opening for a host. I mean, if anybody else wants to come on here and talk, it's nice to get community members on here and talk. Like, I didn't know Javelin before this, and he seems like a legitimately cool guy. If any of the rest of you guys want to, guys or girls that want to abuse your cleavage, want to come on the show and do it audio-wise, come on.
How do you abuse cleavage audio-wise?
I mean, if you really push it up into the mic, I guess you could
slapping
try.
them against the microphone?
Maybe. That's not a bad idea. I bet our viewers would triple for that week, if for whatever reason. I don't know. Like, audio cleavage is amazing, I guess. But check us out. If you want to jump on to see us at reachcastshow@gmail.com. We would love to hear from more people in the community. We have some real characters in this community, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you. And how about it? That's it. Sorry. Go on what you're saying, Mark.
That's it.
All right, screw you all. Bye.
We're out of here.
That's right, Sergeant. You made the call. All right, soldiers. You've done a great job here today. Let's get our stuff and get the hell out of here.